So I was scrolling through my Tumblr, which is at Gleamiarts, and I saw this drawing I did in 2019. It's based on this OC draw meme where you draw your OC on the news. And the original template is by Demon on Tumblr. So I wanted to draw the background this time, because in the original, I just pasted in a random photo of a high street, scribbled on top of it, and called it a day. It also kind of looked pretty bad, because I did not know how to do backgrounds and stuff. But now I'm better at doing backgrounds, because I know how to harness the power of Clip Studio's perspective tool. So I was like, yeah, let's do a redraw. I know this is like the second redraw video in a row, but it's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Inspiration strikes and you just go with the flow. So I changed the aspect ratio from the original because it's supposed to look like it's on TV, and most TVs are 16:9 aspect ratio, aka the whole, the usual 1920 by 1080 or the 4K resolution, whatever that is, I don't know. But that aspect ratio, not like a random, I don't know, it looks like the original was like 4:3 aspect ratio, I don't know. So I changed that because it made sense. And first things first, I opened up the perspective grid and I started drawing lines and thinking about how the high street would look. Then I quickly looked up some references of high streets and also put this massive mood. I made this massive mood board on PureRef, which is so helpful. I love PureRef. So I did that, and then I came back to drawing the background and everything. I did the background first, and then I did the people and I adjusted stuff, and so I was really vibing whilst drawing the background. It was really nice, and it felt slightly nostalgic somehow. I like adding details to all the little shop signs and stuff. Like I said, in the original, I had no idea what I was doing with the background. I didn't even know that Clip Studio had a perspective grid or how to use it. And for those of you that want to see those tutorials, in the description, I've linked some nice ones that I followed. So drawing the crowd was really interesting because I've never really drawn one before. First, it was rather hard to draw them to scale, but then when I started properly full on inspecting the reference pictures and studying them and analyzing them, I was like, oh, okay, scale. And I started to adjust the sizes of them, and then it got easier. I thought it'd be funny to show some of the people in the crowd running around just looking at the news, because they're like, oh, what's going on here? Because usually when um you're just walking down the high street and you see someone on the news, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be on TV if I walk past. Hee. I thought that would be funny. Also, slight tangent, but fun fact, I was almost on TV once. So there was this McDonald's advert that was being filmed in this high street. And I remember I was just walking down with friends, and I really wanted to go and join the advert because anyone could go in. They just put the camera there, and then they put the massive Happy Meal box in the middle of the high street. And I was about to join, but my friends held me back. And they're like, no, don't do it. Because most of the people in the advert were kids, 10 and under. And at the time I was 13, 14. So I would have stuck out like a sore thumb if I did join in. And so I didn't. It's probably for the best, really. But it's just funny that I could have been on TV. I could have been. But yeah. Okay, so let me tell you one thing I had trouble drawing. I had trouble drawing his face. I had trouble drawing the guy with the painting on his head. I had trouble drawing his face. It was so annoying. Like, I had to redraw it over and over and over and over and over again. I was looking up pictures of like photographs of people in, you know, the slightly three quarters, slightly looking down. I was looking at so many references. I was trying to draw them like realistically first, and then trying like stylize it. And then I opened up my sketchbook and I did some studies in there, and it was a mess. It really was a mess. Like, I did a whole like page in my sketchbook just dedicated to trying to draw faces, because like it kind of felt like my brain forgot how to draw a face, and it threw me off because usually faces are my comfort zone. When I'm bored, I doodle a face. So this really threw me off. I was expecting the background to be the most hard thing to draw in this drawing, but no, it was the face. Face! It threw me off. So then, like I said, I did the sketchbook thing. Guess how many times I drew his darn face? 9. 9 times. I drew it over and over and over. I did more construction lines. I erased that. I drew a face. I deleted it. I made a new layer to draw the face again. I deleted it. I redrew the face over and over and over until finally I gave up. I was like, you know what? This is fine. Let's move on. I'm not spending any more time drawing this face. I'm sick of it. So yeah, I moved on. It just sounds so dramatic when during the time, like, it was really dramatic. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't draw a face. What was I come to? My real artist. Well, like, at the time it was so dramatic, but looking back at it, it's like, wow, it's not that deep. It's just a drawing. If you suck at a drawing, it's fine. Sometimes you gotta move on. Sometimes you just gotta tell yourself, you know what, that's good enough. You tried your hardest, and that's great. You're trying really hard, and that's amazing. You don't have to draw amazing stuff all the time. You don't have to be perfect all the time. Sometimes you gotta move on. You might notice some of the characters might look a little bit different, and that is because I redesigned them between the time between 2019 and now. So yeah. And if you are new to my channel, these characters I'm drawing right now are my OCs for my comic, which I'm working on, called Paged Away. Looking forward to when that comes out. So at the moment, I'm also working on this fun little timeline video where I talk more about my characters and how I changed their designs over the years. I'm still like collating all the little drawings I did, so it's taken a while. And I'm also scripting it, which also takes a while. So I also reused the news overlay thing because I thought it was pretty neat. So is it bad that I almost wrote poggers into my script? Well, technically it is in my script because I did write poggers, and I said poggers 3 times. Sorry for the random flashing. It turned out my liner had some gaps in it, and the paint bucket could not even fill, even with the close gap settings on at 100. Oof. So anyway, here's the final drawing. Look at it. Wow. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.